sadly, sorrowfully, rather lose you.
The Middle East is imploding. In the past few years, there have been violent revolutions, military escalations, and armed conflicts in Egypt, Libya, Syria, Iraq, and more. Iranian proxies are undermining regimes as conventional armies are losing ground to terrorist groups like Hezbollah and ISIS, resulting in the crumbling of Arab states. Some have argued that this turmoil has enhanced Israel's security. The disintegration of the Syrian and Iraqi armies, which used to pose a major threat, and the peace treaties with Jordan and Egypt now enable Israel to make territorial concessions, they contend. Is Israel really in a position to make concessions on its borders?
The Western Israel must now prepare to defend themselves against a new kind of enemy. The terrorist groups gaining power in the Middle East today are not like those of the past, comprised of small, secretive cells carrying out hijackings, shootings and suicide bombings. We're now confronting terror armies. The British Army faced this threat in Iraq and Afghanistan, and Israel is facing these threats along all of its borders. That's why strategic depth as a key to defensible borders is still crucial as a first line of defense.
Hamas in Gaza has evolved from an underground terrorist group into the ruling regime and a formidable military force. With army bases, former lines of command, fighting brigades, special forces, including naval commandos, offensive tunnels, thousands of rockets, anti-tank and anti-aircraft missiles. The same goes for ISIS and Hezbollah, who have armored vehicles, advanced artillery, missiles, drones and more. Hezbollah, which is deployed along Israel's northern borders, has already threatened to invade the Galilee in the next war. All of that is a proof of the importance of having defensible borders.
While some of these terror groups may fight each other, they still share the common objective of destroying Israel. They flaunt violations of accepted humanitarian norms that oblige all those involved in armed conflict. Another prominent force which has taken advantage of the Middle East turmoil is Iran.
In Iran's attempt to achieve regional supremacy, the Islamic Republic has financed, armed and mobilized expeditionary forces to topple governments, seize territories and tighten their imperial grip across the Middle East. We're witnessing this Iranian-backed expansion in Yemen, Syria, Lebanon and in other places. And these forces are currently encircling Israel. Once Iran becomes a nuclear threshold state, the escalation of terrorism against Israel will only rise.
Iran supplies Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad and Hezbollah with advanced rockets, weaponry and know-how. Once it becomes a nuclear threshold state, Tehran will be able to back Hezbollah and other Shiite militias with complete impunity, as countries would hesitate to retaliate in fear such actions may escalate into nuclear war. In addition, we cannot rule out the options of Iran transferring nuclear technology to its Middle East proxies.
Since 1967, the Jordan Valley has served as a formidable geographic barrier, protecting Israel's narrow 40-mile waistline from the east. These steep slopes, which are controlled by Israel, create a 4,000-foot-high geographic barrier